Let us begin by becoming still. We quiet the noise around us and the noise within us. We soften our breathing, and we allow ourselves to simply be here, in this moment, without needing to rush anywhere or fix anything. We open ourselves to this time, to this space, to whatever this day may hold. We are grateful this morning for the gift of breath, for the steady rhythm that moves through us without our effort or control. We are thankful for the simple fact of waking, of being present once more in this world, with all its complexity and all its quiet beauty. We give thanks for the people in our lives, for those who walk beside us, and for those who have shaped us, even from a distance. We are grateful for the ordinary gifts we so often overlook, for water and warmth, for shelter and safety, for the small comforts that carry us through our days. We acknowledge the privilege of another morning, another opportunity to live with intention, to choose how we meet what comes. As we step into this day, we ask for the courage to meet ourselves honestly, without judgment, without the need to perform or pretend. Help us to see clearly where we are, not where we think we should be. Give us the patience to accept our own limitations, to recognize that growth is slow and often invisible, and that we do not need to have everything resolved by evening. We ask for gentleness with ourselves when we stumble, when we fall short of our own expectations, when we forget what we intended to remember. May we learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness we hope to offer others. We think this morning about the ways we carry stories, the narratives we tell ourselves about who we are and what our lives mean. Some of these stories serve us well, reminding us of our strength and our capacity to endure. Others weigh us down, keeping us tethered to old hurts, old failures, old versions of ourselves that no longer fit. Help us to hold these stories lightly, to recognize that we are not bound by them, that we can choose which ones to carry forward and which ones to gently set down. Give us the wisdom to discern between the truths that ground us and the falsehoods that limit us. May we be willing to revise our understanding of ourselves, to remain open to change, to allow for the possibility that we are more than we have believed ourselves to be. We ask for the humility to admit when we are wrong, when we have caused harm, when our actions have not matched our intentions. Help us to apologize with sincerity, to make amends where we can, and to release ourselves from the burden of shame that serves no one. We ask for clarity in our relationships, for the ability to communicate with honesty and care. May we listen more than we speak, and when we do speak, may our words be thoughtful and true. Help us to be present with others, to give them our full attention, to resist the urge to fix or advise when what is needed is simply our steady presence. Give us patience with those who frustrate us, who challenge us, who see the world differently than we do. May we remember that everyone is carrying something we cannot see, that everyone is doing their best with the resources they have, even when it does not look that way to us. Help us to extend grace to those who have hurt us, not because they deserve it, but because holding on to resentment only harms us further. This does not mean we must forget or trust blindly or allow ourselves to be hurt again. It simply means we release the grip of bitterness. We stop rehearsing old grievances. We choose to move forward unburdened. We think about the ways we try to control what cannot be controlled, the energy we waste trying to manage outcomes that are not ours to manage. Help us to recognize the difference between what we can influence and what we must accept. Give us the courage to act where action is needed and the wisdom to step back where our interference will only create more trouble. May we trust that there is a larger pattern at work even when we cannot see it, even when things feel chaotic and uncertain. We ask for the strength to face difficulty without turning away, to sit with discomfort without numbing ourselves, to remain open even when it would be easier to close down. Help us to remember that pain is not the enemy, that struggle is often the doorway to deeper understanding, that we grow not in spite of hardship, but through it. May we be gentle with ourselves in seasons of difficulty, knowing that endurance is not about being strong all the time, but about continuing to show up one day at a time. We ask for eyes to see the good that is present, even when it is small, even when it is overshadowed by what is broken or missing. Help us to notice the kindness of strangers, the beauty of ordinary things, the quiet moments of connection that pass by so quickly if we are not paying attention. May we cultivate gratitude not as a forced practice, but as a natural response to being awake in the world. We think about the ways we spend our time, the choices we make about where to direct our energy and attention. Help us to be intentional, to prioritize what truly matters, to let go of obligations that no longer serve us or anyone else. Give us the courage to say no when necessary, to protect our own well-being, to recognize that we cannot pour from an empty vessel. May we also be generous with our time when generosity is called for, willing to inconvenience ourselves for the sake of another, willing to show up even when it costs us something. We ask for wisdom in our work, whatever form that work may take. May we approach our tasks with care and attention, doing what is ours to do without becoming consumed by it. Help us to find meaning in what we do, not because every moment must be significant, but because we bring our full presence to it. Give us patience with the slow unfolding of our efforts, trusting that small acts done with intention accumulate over time into something meaningful. We ask for the courage to rest, to stop when we are tired, to honor the limits of our bodies and minds. Help us to release the belief that our worth is determined by our productivity, that we must always be doing more, achieving more, proving ourselves over and over again. May we learn to simply be, without apology, without guilt, trusting that we are enough, exactly as we are. We think about the future, about the uncertainty that stretches before us, about the plans we make and the unexpected turns that disrupt them. Help us to hold our plans loosely, to remain flexible, to adapt when circumstances change. Give us the courage to move forward even when the path is unclear, trusting that the next step will become visible when we need it to. May we release our need to know how everything will turn out and instead focus on how we want to show up in this moment, right now. We ask for peace in our hearts, not the absence of struggle, but a deep settledness that remains steady beneath the surface turmoil. May we find that quiet center within ourselves, the place that is not shaken by external circumstances, the place that knows we are held even when everything feels uncertain. Help us to return to that center again and again throughout this day, whenever we feel ourselves becoming scattered or overwhelmed. We ask for compassion toward all beings, for a widening of our circle of care. May we remember our connection to others, the ways we are all woven together, the ways our choices ripple outward in ways we cannot always see. Help us to act with kindness, not only toward those we love, but toward those we do not know, and even toward those we find difficult. As we prepare to step into this day, we ask for one more thing. Help us to be awake, to be present, to be fully here in our own lives. May we not sleepwalk through this day distracted and numb, but instead meet it with open eyes and open hearts. Give us the grace to begin again, as many times as necessary, releasing what has already passed and returning our attention to what is here now. We go forward with gratitude, with hope, with a quiet trust that we are not alone, that we are part of something larger than ourselves, and that this day, with all its challenges and gifts, is enough. May we be enough. May we rest in that knowing. And so we begin.